All right, welcome to the Zoom tonight. We're going to run this different. We're going to run a power hour, and each coach that signed up, so Megan, Jen, Sandy, and myself, we're going to take a chunk of power hour, explain how we do it, and then give you time to do it yourself. So actually, the cool thing is because we're recording this, you could actually watch this at any time and maybe play it during your power hour, or if you need a refresher, or if you want to share this with your new coaches. So this will be a good tool on how we run power hours. So the first chunk is going to be done by Sandy. So I'm going to let her take it away, and she will go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Sandy, and I'm in Toronto, Ontario. And tonight I'm going to talk to you for about 15 minutes or so, or maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but I think it's 15-minute blocks, right, Stephanie? So my topic is going to be how to expand your network and how to add friends and really build your business through friendships and expanding your network. So of course the most obvious thing to do is to add more friends, right? When I first started, I had a pretty small friends list, and I remember a friend of mine, my neighbor, actually said to me, she tries to keep her friends list to around 100 people. She just wants her close, like her family and her close friends. And before I was a coach, I thought, well, that sounds like a good idea. I'll try to keep mine around 100 or so as well. But then, of course, when you become a coach, you don't want to keep your friends list small. You want to keep growing your friends list and add to it and build, because the more eyes that are on your stuff, the better. So, yeah, I started with about maybe 200 friends, and now I think I have around 800 maybe, which is crazy to me, because when I first started, and Stephanie knows, I was very private and very concerned about people, you know, seeing my private life and where I live and what I do, and, you know, I was very private. So maybe you can relate to that. You have to kind of open yourself up and just realize that you're going to meet a lot of great people. Like for, you know, one creeper, you might have 500 people that are awesome. So just, Megan's laughing. So just try not to worry too much and just open yourself up and look for new friends. So how can you do that? You can take a look at Facebook. It suggests friends to you, and you can take a look at them. And what I usually do right away is I see who they're friends with. And if they're friends with Stephanie and Megan and Jen and all the other coaches, I think, okay, this isn't someone, because they're probably already a coach, or they're, you know, in Marshalltown and you guys already know each other. So then I try to look for people that have friends in common with me, like friends from high school, friends from where I used to work, and I'll send them a friend request. And what I used to do right away is I would message them immediately and say, hi, how are you? What are you doing? You know, which hotel did you work in? Because I used to work in hotels years and years ago. And so it's kind of a small community out in Alberta of hotel hopping, and everybody knows everybody. So I used to send people a message, but then I heard a coach say she doesn't do that right away. And so I kind of adopted that of just playing it cool a little bit. Everyone maybe has a different idea on how to do that, and you can find what works for you. But what I like to do is take a look at their profile pictures and give 1 or 2 thumbs up. And if they have a really nice cover photo, I'll give that a thumbs up. And I'll just take a look at their stuff and I'll give them 2 or 3 likes. And then just sort of slowly build the relationship and the friendship that way by then I'll send a message, but not right away. And I definitely wouldn't just hop right on them and say, hey, I'm doing a challenge group. Do you want to join me? Because then they're going to say, oh, this is why she wants to be my friend. So you just have to be kind of careful with that, with not jumping all over them to begin with, and just kind of take it slow. Not too slow, of course, but just be normal about it, you know. So what you should try to do is add about 3 new people per day. So you can take a look at the friend suggestions, but you can also take a look at your friends lists, people that you know, and take a look at who they're friends with that you might know from your past, like people you used to work with, or people that you went to school with. You can go through your old high school yearbooks. there's a memory jogger in the Coach Online office, and you can pull up that document and just, it'll, you can rack your brain for everyone you've ever met, and just see if you can find them on Facebook. And then, of course, there's other social media outlets that you can try, like Instagram. I've had a few friends that I've met through Instagram who I've moved over to Facebook, and I've had a little bit of success with that. And then Pinterest. I don't know Pinterest too well, but I know some coaches on my team really like it and use that for finding new friends. On Facebook, you can join different groups, like different interest groups. Think about other things that you're interested in. And then join a group, and you can get chatting with people. And I just did that recently, actually. I joined a group on gluten-free eating because I like the group leader. She seemed really interesting, and so I don't know how she popped up on my newsfeed, but she did. Oh, I think maybe she liked something on my like page. But anyways, I'm in there, and I've been chatting with girls just here and there. Of course, not mentioning that I'm a coach, or not saying I'm with Beachbody, or hey girls, I'm doing a challenge group. I mean, it's tempting to do that, but don't do that, because you might get the boot out of the group. And I was in Jen Helton's group, Clean Eating 101, and one of the girls in there, we had never conversed at all. She just sent me a message and said, hey, it looks like you're into health and fitness as well. She sent me this really like Beachbody type email, and I wrote back to her and I said, oh, are you a coach? And then I said, I am too. And you probably shouldn't be soliciting people out of this group because the group leader is a coach. Okay, so so don't creep people out. Just play it cool. What else? Of course, if people send you a friend request, accept it, and take a look at who they are. Like, take a look at. It's a good idea to have a like page, and I usually take a look at who's liked my page, and I look at their stuff, and if they look like they're somebody that I would want to be friends with, then I'll send them a friend request. And if they have some really negative stuff on their profile, or stuff that I think I don't want my niece to see, then I wouldn't accept them. So of course it's all up to you, and you're in control of that. And then if you do find yourself that you have a few friends on there that you're like, ooh, what are they posting? You can unfriend them or unfollow them if they're, it's totally up to you. But the key is expanding your network and trying to get as many new eyes onto your stuff as possible. And so I have my like page, and what you can do is you can promote your page. You can pay to promote it, and you can target exactly who you want to promote it to. So what you want to do is try to find people that are like you. So you can go within your age range, about 10 years plus or minus. You can select what kind of interests they like, all sorts of different things. So don't just do a blanket promotion thinking you're going to target people between 18 and 65 and you don't care who they are, or if they're male or female. You can target it down to, I usually do just female, and just within my age range, and then I type in a few things that I like shopping, movies, travel. I forget what else I have in there, but when you can just spend about 5 to 10% of what you make on doing that to start. I wouldn't go crazy. I mean, it's totally up to you. And I know coaches who spend a lot on promoting their page, but I'm not that much of a risk taker. So I usually promote for about $10 at a time, maybe $10 a week, maybe a little bit more sometimes. Sometimes I just do $5. It's whatever you're comfortable with. But I do find that I get some more likes and more interest that way. The other thing you can do is if you have a post that you want to boost, you can boost that individual post. So I kind of experiment with either promoting my page or boosting a post individually. And you can play around with that in Facebook and just let me know if you have any questions on that. It's pretty straightforward. You girls eating are making me hungry. Haven't had dinner.
Sorry.
That's okay. Enjoy. What else? I had a whole list of things, but I've already been talking for 10 minutes, so I better hurry it up.
Let's take 5 minutes, and then why don't you guys go and implement what she said and add 3 to 5 new people? Do you think that would be good? So if you have questions, feel free to ask now for the next 5 minutes, but we'll just kind of let you do your work. And obviously pay attention to who you're adding so that those people should go on your list to pay attention to.
Sounds good. Okay. So we'll just minimize our screens and we'll add 3 to 5 people all together. Go for it. Oh, sorry, I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, me too.
And then, I just want to say, if anyone has any questions, you can unmute yourself and just ask, because we can do this together.
How does that work, Sandy? Well, I mean, the difference between, so if you promote, then that goes based on a certain amount of time. I mean, it will promote everything, or just promote your general site for a certain set amount of hours or days, depending on how much you spend on the promotion, or how does that work?
Yeah, when you're promoting your page, you're promoting it'll just promote your page in general, and it'll ask people to like your page. And so you can set it for, and you have to be careful, because one time I didn't notice the date and I promoted it for like a week instead of 2 days. So I ended up spending a bit more than I wanted, but that was okay. It wasn't crazy. I think I spent $25 or $30 or something. But you can totally break it down and target exactly what you want. So you can target when you want the ad to start, when you want the ad to finish. Yeah, did I answer?
Is the boost similar then? Does it boost it for a certain set number of days, or it just boosts that post once?
It boosts that post to a certain number of people based on how much you spend. So the more you spend, the more it goes to. And with your boosting, you can't target as much. It will go to, the entire age range of Facebook, but that's okay too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going over to Facebook. Oh, I have to mute myself. Sorry. Let's find 3 to 5 friends.
Okay, so I just jumped on. What are we doing?
We're doing a power hour together.
No, I know, but you're adding 3 people on Facebook? Is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah.
Or whatever platform you prefer. Yeah, 3 to 5 new friends.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, because if you think about it this way, if you're always filling your funnel, you don't ever run out. So think of that. Let's just say 3 friends. You had 3 friends every day for 365 days. You added 1,095 new contacts. You seriously could never run out of people to talk to. That's just crazy. Okay, I have a quarter after. Did you guys get enough time to add friends? That's pretty simple, pretty quick. Okay, so I'm going to go next, and I'm going to talk about starting conversations and forming people. So if you're a newer coach, you might not know what FORM stands for. It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and then the last part is message, and that should come last. So whenever you're reconnecting with an old friend or starting a new friendship with a new friend, you need to talk about everything else before you get to your message. So you guys, I'm sure, have gotten a message in your inbox that's just like a spam message. I mean, it's like huge, these long paragraphs, and they're like, come join my team and buy all my stuff. And you get really turned off. And those are those messages that don't get responded back to because you just feel like they're trying to sell to you. And that's not how you want to make people feel, because really coaching is about relationships. That's what it's about. So it's really important to start conversations and with new people and find out about them, and then bring, like if it's a friend you haven't talked to in a long time, kind of bring back some of that old friendship. So something I like to do is just to send a message that says, hey, so-and-so, how are you? I thought of you the other day. I wanted to get back in touch. What's new? And just see what's going on with them. If it's somebody that maybe isn't an old connection and it's around like a holiday or something that's going on, or you notice a life event on their Facebook, go message them and just ask them about, maybe they went on a trip, maybe they just got married, maybe they're pregnant, maybe they just had a baby. Maybe they just got a job. Or if it's a holiday, you could say, hey, how was your Christmas? Or do you have any big plans for Christmas? Or, what's your family doing for Thanksgiving? Anything that you can think of where you're going to talk about them and their life. And you just want to just chit chat, really, see what's going on, find a connection. And then so that form, you want to talk about their family, you want to talk about their occupation, you want to see what they like to do for fun if it's somebody new. And then the last part is where your coaching comes in. So maybe you guys are talking, they just had a baby, they've gained weight, and they don't know what to do. Then you can say, well, I put together this challenge group, this fitness and clean eating group with some friends. Would you like to join us? Or maybe they've expressed a need about, not having enough income. Well, have you ever thought of coaching? Because you'd be great. You're so much fun. You have a really good attitude. And you just find some way that it fits into their life. Because remember, whether it's their health and fitness goals or it's they could be a coach, you want to figure out how that's going to benefit them and not benefit you. Even though it does, benefit you, you need to figure out how it'll work for them. That's really incredibly important. So let me back up a little bit. You're sending out messages every single day of just conversations. This does not include the inviting part of your power hour. This is just getting your funnel full and building relationships so that you build that trust. And when people need what you have, you know how to talk to them, and it's not weird, and it's not awkward, and you're not just spamming their inbox. So that's really, really important, why the conversations are a big key into your success. And just, every time you get one of those spam messages, just think about how that makes you feel, and just keep in mind that you don't want to be doing that to other people. So I'm going to take less time because I think this is all kind of based situation to situation. So I want you to go pick like 3 people that just kind of people that are on your list, obviously, or new friends that you've added recently, or people you want to go back and connect with, and just send them a message and just say, hey, so-and-so, how are you doing? Fill in the blank. Like, I saw you just went on a trip. I saw you just got married. I saw blah, 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 blah. Ask questions. You kind of have to pay attention. If it's somebody that you really don't know, then you kind of interview them to figure out about them. And you can feel free to ask questions here too, because sometimes they might respond and you're like, well, I don't know what to say. So I'm going to let you guys do that. Go ahead and send out 3 to 5 messages that are not invitations. They're just reconnecting. Does that make sense? I feel like I was blabbing. Okay, I got some thumbs up. All right, if you have questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. And also let me add that if they ask you questions back, answer them briefly and then ask them more questions. People love to talk about themselves. I know that feels weird, but try not to make it about you and make the conversation as much about them as possible. And as Sandy was talking about groups, if you're in your own high school graduating class group, if your class has one, that's a really good one to make these old connections with. Or any of like, whoa.
Whoop.
Go ahead.
That would imply that your high school class had to be like bigger than 25 people, so they actually made a group.
Yeah, that's true. Depends on the size of your class. Yeah, I'm in some other groups though, like American Bulldogs, because that's what we have, our big brown baby. She's I'm in a group with people that have dogs like her. There's like 15,000 people in that group. I'm in an art teachers group that has like 30,000 people in that group. So yeah, add into groups that relate to your interests. Like Sandy said, make friends. And then this is where this comes in. You kind of interview them a little bit and find out about them.
So one of the things that I've been doing recently is I've been looking at my list of my friends that have birthdays to message, because that's been a really easy gateway for me, because messaging people randomly is totally out of my comfort zone.
Such a good idea. Yes, I forgot that. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, that was actually on my list of things to mention, is it's the perfect time to say hello to someone is when they have a birthday. And although your message might get lost or your post might kind of get lost, the more times you interact with someone, the more times your stuff is going to show up for them. So that's another thing, is that you can kind of target market who you want to, who you'd really like in your group, or who you think would be a great coach, and then you can interact with them a little bit more. And when I first heard that, I thought that was kind of creepy, but if you think about it, it's just target marketing. And I mean, you're doing it with people that you like and would like to work with, not people you don't like. So
So if you're doing this for your own power hour, and obviously not like waiting as we go through the motions, it's really good if you can get a good rhythm and just kind of bang these out real fast. Then you don't feel like you're spending so much time on it, and you're actually accomplishing something. Like I know we get stuck scrolling through our news feed, and that's really not power hour. I'm sorry, it's not. So doing like these focused tasks that keep your funnel full, you're never going to run into issues with, not being able to fill up your challenge groups or, add to your team like you want to, if you just keep the ball rolling all the time, little tasks every day.
The problem with doing this now is now my computer is going da-ding, 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 da-ding with replies.
Yeah. It's okay.
You're lucky.
Totally acceptable. Okay, should we do our bathroom break and then come back at 8:30? Let's do that. Okay. So I'm going to end this and we'll come back at 8:30.
And we just go with the same length as always and it'll work.
Yep.
Right? I hope.
It will. Okay. I'll see you guys in like 5 minutes.